On February 14th, 2023, I, along with other students from Hamilton, Utica, Syracuse, and numerous other colleges that participate in student aid programs, met with New York State legislators on Student Aid Advocacy Day. As we told our stories to the state legislators on why programs like this are important to us, yet must be improved, I realized there was one theme our stories all shared in common. We would not be in college if these programs did not exist. Many of us shared dreams that we wanted to graduate and go on to pursue law or medical school. One girl shared her dream of going on to pursue a doctorate and being the first in her family to attend college. But for us, it's merely a dream if we don't have the financial tools to make it a reality. Our shared experiences show us how crucial these programs are in determining our future. Sadly, instances like this are far from aberration. Program recipients are those that come from economically and educationally disadvantaged backgrounds. Most are first generation, low income, or students of color, students that are typically underrepresented in higher education. The Commission on Independent Colleges and Universities found that more than 370,000 New York students rely on state-funded student aid programs such as HEOP, TAP, C-STEP, and Bundy Aid in order to afford college. However, there are millions outside of New York who rely on programs similar to these as well. For many, these programs are just forms of assistance. But to program recipients, these programs are needed to help achieve educational success. While many rely on these programs in order to help fund their educational expenses, the issue with these current programs are that they are inadequate and require extensive reform in order to keep up with the rising cost of college in today's economy. Let's use Hamilton College as an example. According to their Common Data Set report for the 2007 to 2008 academic year, the total cost of attendance was around $36,000. But now, as of today, the total cost of attendance is $80,000, more than doubling in just the span of 15 years. But TAP income eligibility guidelines do not take this drastic increase into account. Their total income limit in order to be eligible is $80,000. But this policy was made in effect for the 2007 to 2008 academic year as well, and succeeding years. So my question is, if the total cost of attendance drastically increased in the same time frame, why haven't the income limits for such programs increased along with it as well? Now, this just doesn't affect private institutions like Hamilton. This affects many public institutions throughout the United States, of course. Data collected from the US News and World Report found that within a 20-year span, in-state tuition and fees at public national universities has increased by 175%. Many students rely on Pell Grants to help offset most of these costs. But according to the Center on Budget and Policy, it showed that 20 years ago, Pell Grants used to help offset around 79% of the average cost of tuition. Today, it only offsets around 29%. The issue is that with the maximum grant limit of around $6,000 was helpful, yes, back 20 years ago, when tuition was fairly affordable, it just doesn't hold the same value as it did before. It's not as effective. Now, I am in no way trying to discredit these programs or say that they are of no help. As I said in the beginning, I wouldn't be at an institution like Hamilton if it wasn't for HEOP and if it wasn't for TAP. But let's face the harsh truth. Prices are only going to continue to increase as the years go on, and financial security cannot be guaranteed for many. The education system will continue to enforce a generational poverty without these programs. Statistically speaking, more than 60% of Americans will need to rely on some sort of aid in order to go to college. Just let that sink in. Now, if these programs are not readjusting their standards, there will be millions of students who will not get the required resources and help that they need in order to be successful, in order to go to college. If students can't afford to go to college, they will just choose not to go. So you're probably asking, well, why should I care? I already graduated college, or I'm not in these programs, so how does this affect me? But the simple truth is that you want to make sure that your loved ones are guaranteed educational success despite their income. You want to make sure that they are not deprived of opportunities because of outdated policies. The future of America relies on the quality of education the students receive now. We are your future doctors, your future lawyers. We're your future scientists and your future teachers. But how do you expect us to create exponential changes for society if the resources we are given are so limited? Now, I'm not saying that changes are going to be made overnight, of course, nor am I saying that this is going to fix all of our economic problems. However, this is a start. This is allowing for more opportunities to be given, and it's allowing for more students to access education. America is built on this idea of equal opportunity for all. So it shouldn't be such a burden for people to access education because of their income. Education should not be something of privilege. It should be something that is an equitable right. There are millions of students right now who are in need of these programs and are not getting the required resources that they need. We need to make sure that we are reforming these policies so that they get the help that they need. They get the resources and the education that they deserve. We want to make sure that we are prioritizing their future, their success, and their dreams. Thank you.